Currently, B is trying to avoid the biggest stomp in a Grand Finals history in this best of 11 in the midweek muster All-Stars. All the way through this group stage, he remained competitive, yet here in the Grand Finals, Louis has looked unstoppable. 4-0 up. Redraft complete, but the matchup is good for B. We head into Transhumans, Mongols versus Japanese. This is meant to be a matchup where Mongols can do damage. The question mark is how much on a map like Transhumans that gives you a very defendable location in the corner. Louis MT was chosen, I think at this stage, the most picked Civ on this map. He had two really good options, actually, two of the most picked. He had either Rus or Japanese, but Louis understood that Japanese is a bit more situational. Rus has a lot more flexibility to be picked on pretty much any map. So I actually think he made the right choice there. Mongols, however, B also had the right idea, because Mongols is very much a limited Civ in how you implement it. Right, you need the right map, you need the right matchup. So I don't think this is wrong by B. I do think, though, that if you see Koka Township coming from the Japanese, it can make Mongols' openings very difficult to execute. And on a map like this in particular, you definitely want to be going Shinobi. And B, meanwhile, has decided to go for the spears, so we already have the first being queued up. Villagers on the move. Louis MT, of course, is going to be slow on his tech timing. This is maybe the first point in the series with his openings where I'm not the craziest fan. Because the problem with what he's done here, with his opening, he doesn't have a quick tech. And you need a quick tech to get into the Koka, otherwise these spearmen are going to play blocker. So the counterplay that is an option for Louis is instead building spears himself. It just always feels weird when I see Japanese have to do it. And he isn't gathering anywhere near enough wood rather to suggest it's happening. Amazon Link doesn't work? That might be based in your country. If anyone knows of a provider of PC parts that is like globally available with affiliate scheme, let me know and I'll set up on that website. Because I'm running this tricky predicament of like, I could get one that works in the UK, I could get one that works, you know, in Germany. I want one that works in as many countries as possible. Because I just clicked that link, it definitely works for people in the UK. Amazon's weird about that. I really wish they had a direct conversion. Like if you are an American viewer and click that, it should really show you the American equivalents. But I think instead it still shows you the pound variety. I don't know if someone in America can confirm that. Anyway, here in the CIS lands, we come for war there. B moves up with the outpost. Nice deny. Louis gets rid of the forge straight away. Already has what he needs in terms of gold. Does he want more? I think he wants another one. He wants one more grab for a Shinobi play. But he needs an extra villager for that. And what? Okay, no, this is very different. It shows pounds? Yeah, I don't know. Like, if anyone wants to help me figure out a way around that, I appreciate it. Because I've heard a few people like, I want to buy PCs, let me know your links, KP. And I wouldn't say no to a nice little kickback, you know? So Outpost should be going up. There's no way you can deny that. Louis isn't even going to try to contest it. Instead, he's going Kura probably into Yumi here. That was funky on the gold gathering, though, right? Like, I thought maybe he was going to gather enough for siege engineering. I always forget, actually, how much gold is siege engineering? I don't think he has enough, right? He can get extra by going on the stone. That's always an option when you play Japanese, but it's still pretty far out and exposed. This has to be Yumi from Louis, though. I mean, he sees spears, right? He justifies the play. B, meanwhile, this should easily be Deerstone. He could be creative, though. Nah. I was about to say, Silver Tree would be kind of sick on a map like this. It is 50. Okay, I thought so. Thank you very much, Angel with Shotgun. So yeah, he is actually 5 gold short of what he needs. I mean, that was the weird thing when we saw him walk out. If it was Koka, he was 5 gold short. If it was Siege Engineering, he was 5 gold short. He's basically at least 5 gold short of anything he could get, if not more. Even Tawara is more than that, right? Yeah, it's 50 gold. So this looks a bit weird from Louis. $50 wood, 120. Okay, that would make more sense. I think you're correct. Sorry, yeah, I think Angel was saying that. I just misread it. So literally, like, basically, the point remains, either way, any way you kind of scratch it, Louis doesn't have enough gold. That final grab of gold didn't really make any sense. And we are seeing the cursed unit. Yumi are coming. Now, be honest, does this inspire confidence in you or a desire to vomit? I mean, you're 4-0 up, right? You can get kind of funky with it. 45 is if you want to do the spear upgrade? Yeah, but the spear upgrade is 35, right? I think it's 15 food, 35 gold. He has at least now got the Yumi to deal with the spears. Remember, those spears do have yams, so it can be a little bit annoying. Apparently, the play for Lou is to try and get back on the water. So he wanted to try to get into an archer ship, but he gets blocked out. What a move by B. Not able to get that villager kill. Does get a different one over here, though. Okay, so he denies the dock temporarily, but unless B has his own dock play coming, which he does. Uh-oh. All right, we have a problem. So Louis, right now, he didn't build a farmhouse because you wouldn't do that against Mongols anyway. He's also thinking about sneaking out for gold, but this is ambitious. Villagers trying to pull a little bit too early, and this time the Khan will be able to find ahead. Not just that. Wait, what? Louis, what's going on? That is multiple mistakes in the last minute from him. Louis, who has played a very clean series up until now, seems to be slipping a little in game number 5. Louis, I mean, I'm perplexed. I mean, the good news at least is he does have the Kura storehouse. Means he's got plenty of food to work with, right? So, like, he'll have some runway in terms of efficiency there, even when he loses out on the fish. And the fish most definitely is gone now. He can't come back for it. Wait, Louis? This is not the way. He'll just lose villagers for this. That's going to be 2 dead workers at this point. Khan might not be able to get this one, but this is the problem. You're running them out one by one. The archer will just decimate them. Yumi also hanging around. This is ridiculous. And that's it. GG. B is on the board. It took 5 games, a redraft, but he comes out swinging immediately off of that redraft with a win. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a series. It took 5 games to the 3D clan member we know to turn up, but he's here. And to be feared as we head into Himeyama for Jeanne versus Delhi. Another matchup where B should be favored. One and all, welcome back to the grand finals of the final midweek muster All-Stars, of the final tournament of 2024 in the Age of Empires ecosystem. And what a fun one it's going to be. 11-game potential. We were worried it would be done in 6. We at least get a stay of execution on that. And B is now looking at potentially back-to-back morale boosters in the redraft with matchups that should favor him. Himeyama, a weird one for Delhi. I think Louis MT was caught trying to get crafty. We saw this in the first draft where he picked a 1 or 2 unorthodox picks at certain points in the draft that maybe B wasn't expecting. B seems to be switched on to his antics at this point. Is countering accordingly. Himeyama just a really good map for Jeanne, right? Like, you're seeing why. This opening play is quite intriguing. He'll probably have to build a school cavalry out here, which is a little bit wild. But the whole point is multifaceted. Jeanne is really good against Delhi, as is being questioned in chat. Yes, you are correct. It is. Because the Ghazi just get wiped so quickly, and when they do, it's way too much XP to Jeanne. Then there's 2, which is on a map like Himeyama, Delhi aren't that great. It's not that they can't work here. It's just that they're not as good as they would be on other maps. There's only 2 sacred sites. The water play opening wasn't really available to him because of Jeanne as a threat. There's just a lot of things that make the Delhi pick almost feel like it was intended to catch B with something different, like, say, Juji, I think is what he was expecting other than Jeanne, or maybe, I want to say Malians, possibly English, right? Because English has been picked quite a bit on Himeyama. So, yeah, well played by B to read through that and just not fall for it again, because we were just so close to this being the biggest stomp in the history of AoE 4's finals. Louis, how does he want to try and approach this? I mean, you could just go for the classic Dome of Faith. I wonder if this is one of the matchups where Tower Victory can make a little bit of sense. Because we talked about how the Ghazi feeds way too much XP over to Jeanne, but if you play just a standard infantry comp, just spears archers, with an attack speed buffer, I mean, you blob up, Jeanne just dies. Right? But Louis, he wants that scalability. This is a guy who thrives in the late game. So, of course, he's going to give himself that runway. Of course, B's tech up time is going to be a little bit later. Yeah, kind of a shame the way he played this. I thought it was going to be some weird sort of proxy base in the center with Jeanne, just so he gets max XP. But the sad reality is he started fishing with her. You don't want to, right? Because, like, for these 3 fishing boats, there's only 2,000 food, 2,000 resources in the game they can ever gather. For Jeanne, or any villager that comes out here, there's infinitely more, right? There's thousands and thousands and thousands. So you just feel like you're laming your own play by gathering with villagers. So Sock on the way. Notice that B doesn't bother to just do it with Jeanne. There's no point. Like, you're delayed on your timing already. You're not going to get level 2 anyway, so you might as well just get a quick tech up time to remain competitive. By doing that, you can probably force Louis to go into spears as an opener. We've been seeing more and more players, even against Jean French, they don't actually go Spearman first, they go Ghazi. Because with the healer boys being so cheap, you can trade with the Nates first and then heal. Elephants versus Weird French. I want B to win, but not understanding why Jean would be favored here. It's the opening and the map design. It gives a really good strong start. Also, if you get in the hyper late game, you're going to talk elephants, talk arbitrary. Tower elephants is really the way that Delhi would have to win that. I think in castle, there is a timing for Jean here in this matchup. You can't go into that castle age behind for sure, but like Royal Institute play into like an arbitrary switch is actually pretty powerful. Still, comes down to what's done in age 2. Sheep count, it's like we got 18 to just 9. It's always the way of Delhi, right? Because they go berries first. There's a lot more food to work with. Good news is, because of this dot being up so early, the tech time being comparative, Louis won't have a burn play onto the dock. He'll just have to accept that it's there. Moment of truth. It is going to be Rax. Okay, so Louis doesn't try to get out of line here. I thought he'd maybe go for the Ghazi, just try to raid a little. Especially this early in the game when Jean just doesn't have the XP to be level 2 after that play. Was it BC who said JD should be infantry focused? To be honest, that would be really interesting to see. I mean, what, you mean she shouldn't get horseback or what? Maybe there should be like a third arc of choice. I don't know if that complicates it too much. Like, I'd say in a lot of ways she's already infantry focused. Archer form gets bonus damage against melee infantry, right? Light infantry. And then melee form is just a lot better against infantry because infantry have, on average, smaller health pools than cavalry. It's like she kind of already is infantry based. Oh, the army. Well, the army is. Because you have Jean's champions that are men-at-arms with bonus damage against spears. I know, I think for Jeanne, I almost just want to see there be more unique mechanics for her compared to French. Because, like, in the current meta, she does often feel like a worse version of French. Which is ironic, because when she was first introduced, everyone thought it would be a better version of French. Turns out, in a macro-focused RTS, getting villagers quicker is actually a really big advantage. Pro Scout's also on the way early from Louis. I wonder if he'll drop that stables to ramp up towards it. We already have the blacksmith's play, so he's anticipating B going for an all-in, which kind of makes sense here. And Jean is going to be in range form, so already on the move. Makes sense with so many spears in the field. I sometimes like the idea of going melee Jean just because you're able to clear up the spears, the initial ones, so fast. But at the same time, like, the trade-off is you end up getting pinched. You can then die very quickly. It also just enables an archer follow-up, really, which keeps your opponent more cost-efficient. It is risky still the same against Ghazi, but this can potentially bait the Ghazi to overextend so Knights can kill. It also just gives you an easy way of farming some XP, because you'll always get that last hit damage from Divine Arrow. Oh, got you. Okay, now it makes sense. So they should be infantry. You mean Jeanne D'Arc as a whole with her army? I think there's some merit to it. We have some spear builds. It's just those spear builds a long time ago got nerfed when Jeanne lost the ability for blacksmith techs to be for free on the melee. I wouldn't say you skip knights though. I mean, Beastie's a big believer in like Chamber of Commerce, right? Although I don't think he's found too much success with it in comp. I've seen it a few times with like Jeanne and whatnot. Situationally, it can kind of work. But like the value of just a few knights to begin with, it should never be discredited. Maybe there is value in playing the infantry, but you definitely want a knight open. Problem is, do you really want to just knight spam? Because right now, that's what B's doing, and we're seeing how that works out against mass spears. Yeah, I really expected a second unit comp a lot quicker from B. Like 3 to 4 knights max and then a switch. I think he got baited by all this extra food from the fishing. But that can still work, right? Like, you know, you can go this many knights, but attacking in one direction is the mistake. He's so focused on how Jeanne exploits this situation that he's forgetting that his army can do so much more than she can. And instead, now, she's at risk of just feeding. I mean, Divine Restoration's coming off cooldown, so actually B might have perfectly timed this. Ghazi needs that final wallop. I can't believe that. He turned around for the hit. Oh, so that is going to be 250 gold burn. B was, I think, 3 seconds away from Divine Restoration. So Louis gives over a little bit of XP, but forcing a buyback like that's pretty good. B's trying to rush like level 3 Jeanne, right? But level 3 Jeanne in range form against Feudal Age isn't as good as melee. She has some value in that she can summon the units, but her herself isn't as impactful, I'd say. Right? The cleave, the damage boost can be a lot better. I guess you could argue against mass spears, the range will feel good because like a melee form against mass spears will still die fast, right? Another stab coming in. And B needs to be careful not to get pinched here. Louis is hesitating because there might be like a demo coming out, right? Instead he's going to commit though, so Doc is going to go down. This feels expensive for Louis, but I kind of respect what he's doing. A lot of players would just be too scared. I think he's missing opportunities to pinch B here, by the way. B keeps like ignoring where Jeanne is, and Louis could run past. But like, the bigger picture here is he's giving a little bit of XP. Sure, it's feeding a little bit, but he's getting things in return. He's treating the Jeanne XP bar like a trade, whereas most players think of the Jeanne XP bar as a doom timer, right? The point is, if you can get enough value out of those trades to give XP, it's worth doing still. In some ways, you have to treat the XP bar just like you would any unit, right? Like when I send in these units to attack these units and I kill 3 and lose 4, what's the resource exchange? When I go in and do this thing and I feed a bit of XP, what did I get in return? It's to be respected. I mean, Louis, a lot of spearmen right now. Forced the reaction out of B, so he's going to infantry himself now as well. We do have a shuffle out towards the sacred sites. Louis already has pro scouts, survival techniques on the way as well. Another pinch, another brace. Good strike there. Ghazi now rippling past, looking for Jeanne. She's pinched. Has got the Divine Restoration, but if you pump it, you're going to hang around for the Ghazi to wallop you down again. Goes to the recharge, but you notice Louis just diving past. He wants that strike, and he gets it again. Jeanne dead. And an immediate buyback once more. B is doing everything he can to rush level 3 Jeanne. Feels like it's coming at the cost of so much, though. Why no archers? What, from B? I think he's worried about the Ghazi, right? It's like range Jeanne is already getting countered. Now this doubles the issue. This is what I was saying, like, range form gets done a little bit too much in these situations. I think melee probably would have done a lot more, would have forced Delhi to go archers as well, which then is an inherent edge because you have knights. It's weird how little we see melee Jeanne now. Kind of feels like people who want to play range this much are just trying to play off the micro to the extreme. Difficultly done, though, into Delhi like this. And I think where it's really gone wrong was those initial trades, but then the follow-up for B is even worse, right? Like, he basically lost too many units and then got forced to still play knights into a substantially larger force. And then made things even worse by going spears. Usually you want to try and remain knights as much as possible and beat your opponent in for going Ghazi. But what Louis done, which was very creative here, went spears, delayed the Ghazi until he saw B would overextend. And those opening fights really dominated a lot of the outcome of this game. Because we now got House of Learning on the way while he has double the military still. Man, this is just so well executed by Louis. He is rounding out the year in style for sure. This is the thing, like, this matchup is meant to be Jeanne favored. It still comes down to the initial trades. But that's the thing with, I think, most Jeanne matchups, is if you are poor in your openings, you still can very aggressively lose, right? It's like, it's a very big snowball effect either way. You're meant to just be favored because it's Knights Ghazi almost every game. And if it's not Knights Ghazi and it's Spears instead, then your Knights just roam. But like, you know, B's takeaway from this game should be too much focus on a direct attack against mass Spears. You know, it's like you're driving down the motorway away from the cops, trying to make your escape. And there's 2 lanes in front of you. And one of them has, like, the tracks out on it that's going to pop your tires, and the other one's clear. And being a knight and running the spears is like popping your tires. Like, why are you doing it? There's literally another avenue that's clear. And what is up, Jeanne D'Arc? Thank you very much. Raiding while Jeanne is being played. Not really what he was hoping to see, though. It is losing. Thank you very much, mate. Hopefully I had a good stream. We're not convinced by Archer form. I feel like he got baited by the spears. Like, I've said this before, though. Like, if your opponent has 10 spears, sure, you can get pinched on melee Jeanne, but you're still now doing, like, max cleave damage, right? And if they're all attacking you, then your knights get a charge for free. I agree. Like, you know, for some reason, I think it's actually not better or worse. It's just for worse. In the last 2 months, we've been seeing progressively less and less and less melee Jeanne. I feel like the pick rate for melee Jeanne is at an all-time low. Which is funny because when she first came out, and obviously there's a few buffs and nerfs ago, melee was the only way people wanted to play. And agreed, it is risk-reward. But that makes it even worse, right? If you go range form and you lose her like 3 times, what's going on? The situation, weirdly, where range form makes sense is like up against French knights, right? So when you're in a French Jeanne matchup, because then you can snipe the injured when they peel away. So in theory, I think what B was going for is he expected Ghazi, he expected his opponent to peel away injured at the end, and then you just snipe them for free. Just never got to that point. Warlord coming out. That's Piety as well. B, no. He didn't account for Piety. They never do. Louis MT now an age up with 1 relic home, 3 more on the way. I mean, these are the type of games where you don't want to immediately call GG because then your opponent's at match point. But not calling GG, you better have a very clear plan to victory. Otherwise, you're more likely to just demoralize yourself by playing it out, right? I mean, B might think of himself as like a stoic player that doesn't get shooken so easily, but that's what every player says until they get these type of games. And then at the end, they're like, damn, I should maybe have done this at the start. They start to... Is it ruminate? Is ruminate the term? I always forget. That sounds correct. Just so much food as well. Like, I can't believe that Louis still has so much to work with in safety. Right? It was the pro scouts play that paid off. I mean, B's got his own merits here. He's got the ball. Nice, he's safely secluded in Grove. And his 5 relics. Jeez. So B's only play here really has to be... Is it Guildhall and go Imp? Because that feels horrible from this position. So like that leaves you a Royal Institute play with Mass Knights, but your opponent went Hone Blades. He's gone Mass Crossbows. So you'd have to actually instead go Crossbow Stirrups, Mass Arbitrary for an all-in and castle, which we did talk about at the start of the game. But we talked about you needing to have some sort of advantage play into castle to do that. Did Poppy meme his games? No, he just lost his 3 sets, 2-1. And then I think he just lost enthusiasm. I'd say, like, the interesting thing as well is that group stage we done for All-Stars, 10 hours in total. That was a test of not just your ability to sprint, but also your ability to run a marathon. Shout out to those that really hung in there and kept playing at their best towards the end. JD's champion, you mean Jeanne's Riders? Jeanne's Riders good, but they're very expensive. They're, I think it's 180, no, 200, right? I'm pretty sure they're 200. Oh, you can't even see them yet. Here you go. Oh, sorry, no, they're 155. Why do you think they're 180? I think that's Champions. Champions are 180. Jeanne's Riders 155. It's a lot of food for a guy who I don't think really has much in the grand scheme of things. Right now, he's only queuing more Knights, which is going to be his death sentence at this rate. Pakes is coming in. Oh, right. You're right. They're consecrates. They are 200. There we go. Nice little pinch there. So if we have another look at stables, I don't think he has a fresh stables to show you. I'm pretty sure it's usually 200. Actually, by that math, it's like 210 maybe. Yeah, the point is they are not cheap. Like, these units are good. They're very pop efficient. The problem is Jeanne usually struggles to spam them because you don't have the economy to afford the pop efficient option, right? Like a Cataphract, guys. A Cataphract is very pop efficient. Probably not the best example because they're OP right now, but like the idea of them originally sounded cool for population efficiency, but cost made them really undesirable because they were 330. It's that type of thought process where it's like this unit in theory very good, but how do you afford it? It's like having 30 mangonels very strong. How do you afford 30 mangonels? Be Louis is usually my answer in these situations. And yeah, this is like kind of an admittance of defeat, but you have no other option. Guildhall now on the way for B. Part of me thinks he's hoping that Louis is just going to camp and play Imp, but like if he does, what's the advantage you have here? Right? Because we get to Imp, we're talking about Gunpowder Elephants, talking about Sipahi, talking about farm transitions already happening for Louis, hasn't for B. Looks like Knights are going to raid around the back, but the Scholars are being pulled. Even the Shivs out from the Peasants to buy enough time. Loses a few villages, but for a guy who's going to have 5 relics, I don't think he seems to care too much. B has got one more wave coming in, this time of Spears. Sacred Site's also being locked in, and I believe we are going to be seeing Elephants queued up soon for Louis. And yeah, Guildhall. You can't do Royal Institute here. Like, what's the point doing Royal Institute when your opponent already has crossbows? Players don't like switching Arbitrary at this point, which is sad because that would actually be like his play. The reason, though, is like he just won't have enough resources to bulk Arbitrary now. So at this point, he's so far behind, and he knows it. What's his play? He's basically trying to play for age 4. Is it the best solution? No, there is no best. Well, there's no ideal solution. It's probably the best solution he has. Let's put it that way. Now, that probably doesn't inspire much confidence. But if you've been watching this game for the last 20 minutes, there hasn't really been much to inspire that confidence anyway. So basically, he's going to eliminate, I was about to say annihilate, the Sacred Site win condition. But Louis is just taking a calming moment here, right? Like, he just set up a keep. He's already got village fortresses. So we're going to start seeing villages being pumped now. And he's got 2 keeps, by the way. So, yeah, this is going to get ridiculous. Remember, behind all this B is only 1 TC. B should produce archers instead of spears. Why would you... Like, but archers against Pakes, right? I think... Neither unit is ideal. What you want is Arbitrary. It's literally his only, like, only winning unit. His B needs a lot of Arbors. I'm trying to think where we can go next that would favor B with his draft. He still has some really good picks. Like, oh no. Talking about really good picks. Picking these villages off is perfect. Army's distracting the center. Clash coming in there. B doesn't have a demo shift queued up, so won't be able to get a sneaky play in there. But the village in the meantime, this idle time alone. Core of B's economy. No Royal Bloodlines on those Knights either, so they get mopped up easily. Wait, B? Did he just think they walked away? Feels like it. Wall's not even being breached. It just feels like there's no move he's able to make. He's now idling 30 villages. Jeanne has at least got level 3. But it's a lot of firepower coming your way. 31 crossbows. Men-at-arms in the mix as well. Louis. A little bit idle. Not paying much attention here. This is actually a weird fight for him to be taking. Finally reacts, and the micro is going to be there. And this is the like that was almost a good fight. All it required is that Louis' wireless keyboard needed to be recharged. Because the moment he started microing again, look how much worse it got. And Jeanne's riders, sure, in theory, a good counter. They get bonus time against crossbows, but it's only ever 3 of them. Looks like B is finally starting to queue them up. But that's the price I was talking about. Look at that, 200 resources. Reminder, that is the same price as a Keshik for a Jeanne rider. Now, of course, he's not paying that. He has got the discount. So saving a healthy amount there, right? He's saving 45 resources. But it's still not enough. And it seems to not be enough to stop Louis from being on the verge of winning the midweek Muster All-Stars. Now 5-1. Can B dig deep? Can he find another good pick and keep this going? Or are we just one game away from it all ending? Get your predictions in now. Let me know. Do you think B can strike back? I'll see you on the next one. No, in fact, I hate Stompy. I love back and forth. Back and forth is the way I wish every game could be played. So fingers crossed, folks, that's what we can get here. We hop into Skarsgård for game number 7 of the Midweek Muster All-Stars Grand Finals. B, with his Zhuji, a popular, dominant pick on this map. Louis MT with the Rus, a solid one. I'd say Zhuji Chinese have looked a little bit better, but Rus definitely has a lot of potency too. And we are going to see that popular double hunting cabin opening. Skarsgård, of course, the map with 74 deer in total on it. Only 10 sheep, 5 of which start each player's TC. No fish, just relics, sacred sites, boar and gold. And then, if you're feeling very adventurous, a little bit of trade. Yeah, so basically what that means is on this map, you're usually looking at pro scouts-based civs. Hence why we've got Rus and Zhuji. Louis had a lot of great options, actually. His draft was really structured well to accompany the idea of Skarsgård. He had French. He also had HRE. HRE can do pro scouts, even without it, they're quite functional. But the French pick in particular, I was expecting here. This can still work, though. Like, Louis is probably going to hunker down, go for a fast castle build. And that's a nice counter to what B's likely to do here. Zhuji look best on this map when they play fast castle into Palace Guard or Lancers. Bigger fan of Palace Guard, but the problem is difficult against Horse Archers. Actually, it's the same for Lancers. So can you guys guess what B's best win condition is against a fast castle Rus player here? It's feudal all in. Use Zhuji. Zhuge-Nu. Zhuge-Nu gives you a win condition. I wonder if Louis is going to be a bit paranoid about that and thus set up a Kremlin. It would make sense with this gold placement. And yes, there are sheep on this map. You start with 5. Nice deer shoving. Louis obviously can't go for the pro scouts yet, right? Need to get that H2. So just trying to make sure he's got the better deer to gather on instead. Is preferable to go for them instead of the sheep. A little bit surprised he hasn't already. Meanwhile, B is already doing that and has the shove coming in. What are the predictions saying? Where do you guys trust? 52% Louis. Okay, that's actually inspiring for B. I think he's got some creative Zhuji plays, right? And like this matchup is fairly even on this map. Meditation Guard is going to be coming in, and that looks like a weird one. Oh, interesting. Yeah, so he sacrificed 6 food to gain, I think, about 8 to 10 wood. Like overall, this is going to be probably about, I want to say a 50? Is that a 50 wood? That's close to a 50 wood. And then 30 food. So not too bad for this map. You don't really get good meditation gardens on Skarsgård. The whole point of picking Zhuji on Skarsgård is pro scouts and the play in fast castle. The meditation gardens themselves will never be good because the reality is there's only one berry spawn on this map. Per player, anyway. Golden Gate coming in, though. Yeah, that was 6 to build up. That's quite aggressive timing from Louis. He's clearly prioritizing the pro scouts. And I get why, by the way. The reason he's doing it like this, he needs the earlier tickets to pump to get gold. The other reason is you can't do what Zhuji can. You can't rush pro scouts. Remember, with supervision on the mill, it only takes 30 seconds. So while you can have extra scouts out, if you want as Louis, you can't get an aggressive timing. Kind of makes me wonder if he's even going to bother, because right now we're just seeing a lot of deer shove-ins. Cool thing about this map is your scout plays very differently to any other map. Any other map, what do you guys do with your scout? What's the first thing you start doing with him? You run him out. You look for sheep. There's no sheep to be found on this map. Scouting can help a little bit, but isn't too crazy. You know where your opponent's likely going to be. So that leaves deer shoves. And I think I've said before, like, while pro scouts is admittedly logically king, there is value in doing something a bit different here. So this is giving a lot of extra food. He's shoved in about 9 deer in total. And even though he's done that, he's going to pro scouts anyway, isn't he? So kind of a disadvantaged timing if that's the case. Like, obviously, B only has 1 scout so far, so he needs to fix that issue with his build. But you can rush that, stables, right? You can rush the building of scouts. The pro scouts element for Louis is just going to be so slow. Final amount was, yeah, 45 wood, 30 food. I'm really hoping B's going to do the Zhuge play. If this plays out into the fast castle I'm thinking it does, Louis going to win the grand finals in this match. Okay, so this is... I don't know if I want to say inspiring, but different. B's going for racks. He could be paranoid about knights. Sometimes Roost players add in 1 or 2 knights to press you early. But this is also cool to block the pro scouts play, because you can now just run across the map and stab the scouts gathering. I'm hoping we do see Zhuge following up soon, though. So far, only a Wooden Fortress from Louis. I'm not really expecting him to build any units. Calling it Feudal Palace Guard. You can add in a few Palace Guard to pressure. The cool thing about that play is then when you tech up, you just already have these very good units that you can upgrade. But once again, like the downside of PG is the same like downside as Lancers, but worse. You lose to Horse Archers. Oh, by the way, reminder to players that want to play in these, Midweek Muster number 8 starts on the 3rd of January. You want to sign up now. Sign-ups are open and available. I recommend signing up to the next few weeks. I think multiple weeks are available. Map pool should also be public. Good practice in prep for the EGC tournament in January. Highly recommend. Of course, damn, that's a shame. Okay, I was looking forward to seeing you go all the way into the grand finals and beating Puppet Balls this time. Racks from Louis now as well. Wow, so he's going to spear on spear? That's kind of a bait, though. Yeah, going archers as well. Like, this is the play that B needs. Because now you go Zhuge. You just double, triple archer range and rush. Louis needed to turn this into a cavalry expedition, not into an infantry expedition. So many scouts as well. He's up to 7. I mean, that's the value of the hunting cabins, right? Is you don't have to sacrifice production builds to do so, but it's still very, very greedy. He's trying to turn this into a drain race. My worry is that even if B gets substantially less of the deer on the map, he'll still have enough to end the game in Feudal Age. That's the problem Louis now faces. Does reveal the archers are there. That's good confirmation for him. Meanwhile, despite the fact that Louis has got 9 scouts, look at the vision on the map. He's not using a single one to see what's coming. This is a cardinal sin I've talked about before with Pro Scouts meta right now. The big evolution you're going to see between now and about 4 months into the year of 2025 is players learning to still scout. It's so easy to forget to do when you're being greedy looking for all the deer, especially when it turns into a race where both sides have Pro Scouts. But it is fundamental in a game about counters to know what you're going up against. It just feels like Lou's getting little value from the 8 scouts as well. There's always a blocker here. Zhuge there. I've got a Palace Guard added in. That might just be a misclick or a slight bait. We should be getting ready for the Steeled Arrow timing, so expect a Blacksmith to be dropped in about the next 15 seconds. Louis is going to be forced to get Blacksmiths as well, which is just going to slow down his real win condition of like Castle, right? I mean, I say his real win condition, it's not his real win condition anymore. Stables is a smart choice. He needs to get the narrative back towards cavalry. These scouts, these horsemen though. Every little kill actually really starts to add up. These spears are also just cutting off, man. B is really just trying to play the micro game to overwhelm Louis here. And I gotta give him credit where credit's due. It does feel like he's outplaying Louis currently. These rally points, these Qs, not quite there. Feels like he just got away with blind murder there. I don't know why B was a little bit slow on the reaction. He's busy looking elsewhere, it seems. So this is the point in the game where we need to see B like follow up, right? Because so far in this series, because we have to address the elephant in the room. There's no Delhi in this game, so let's put an elephant in the game. His early game ideas have been okay in some of these games. They've been clean, they've been good. And then you reach a stagnant point where he just doesn't end. The good news for B is the Zhuge massing build has this very clear, imminent feeling of kill that I don't think can be mistaken. So by the time he's up to 35 to 40 Zhuge, that should be his build rams and go. And this is something that B should know like the back of his hand. Louis just trying to find a cheeky freebie here. Not gonna be able to. Really needs to get into more knights. Now, just one Palace Guard is so annoying for these archers as well. And we've got more getting added in. I mean, so the cool thing about B is, like, you know, I said he's got that Juke all in timing. He's flirting with the secondary option, which, once again, is fine as long as he executes when it comes, which is Castle Age. Castle Age, Veterancy, and go. Either way, the mistake that can be made here is just being complacent too long. But right now, this game looks really good for B. Louis is trying to sneak up those knights, but he did just get scoured, so that should be the cue to build more spears for B. Good eyeballs on with a few troops at the back. Will be sacrificed though, so he needs to use the Zhuge against the counter units. Instead, he sends the horsemen into spears. We'll be able to shred them afterwards. The horsemen will be able to trade now into the archers. I mean, considering he's outnumbered, that could have been a lot worse of an exchange, but definitely a favorable fight for Louis. I think B just began that a little bit too ugly. Shouldn't have been frontlining with the horsemen with spears. Got baited into doing so. Louis gets a much-needed favorable fight there. There's that slip-up we talked about, right? Like, you know, why did the Zhuge need to go with him? What did the Zhuge do there that, say, like a single horseman and scout wouldn't have? Does at least get a free knight kill on the front. And if he blocks the gold here, right, he can actually stop the knight massing now. Like, this is the thing for B. It was kind of weird the way he went adventuring around the back because his win condition, the only thing that can counter him right now is knights. Look at them. Look at the gold spawns. Every single option is front-facing. The other weird thing about B's dive is, like, he's very clearly going tech. We can see it by his economy. I think Louis might be feeling it by his military count as well. Will be this castle play now needs to pay off in a big way. He has got a few PG mixed in. They will immediately be useful. We got Shaolin Monastery now coming. Interesting choice. Mount Lu Academy has been growing. I think Mount Lu Academy on this map in particular makes sense. There's only 2 relics on the mainland. Louis, does he sense it? Right now, he's a little bit paranoid. This guy who doesn't really have that much clear sight of what's happening on the other side. So he continues to invest. But investing in knights isn't terrible. That's something you want to upgrade anyway. And also, it's a good counter Palace Guard. What was coming up as well from B? What on earth? I guess he wants to just cripple the knight's ability to raid. And they'll be looking for it now as they just heard the tech up. B, he needs more troops at home. In fact, he needs spears right now. He's got nothing to defend him here against the knights. And if Louis can draw the attention here, if B comes home to react to this, Louis has a tech. Feels like B needs to actually be going in for maybe a counter exchange at this stage. Wait, was that a fake by Louis? Yeah, I think he done this to draw B's army home, and it's working. Because B, understandably, in a situation where you are this many games down, and your opponent will win the entire tournament if he wins this game, he's not taking unnecessary risks. If this was a more even series, I think B would have went into his base. With this many Zhuge vetting up, you would have killed everything, right? Like, your opponent has got plastic knights. His archers would get shredded. You get several worker kills in the process, idle as well, and then you just clear the Zhuge to get the next line of troops in, which will be Palace Guard or Lancers. This is way too chill. And now Louis, he's getting that high trade house. Get your numbers in, folks. He saved most of the tree line for it. The weird part is he actually could have got more by building it here. I feel like twice now, B should have had a kill. There was the opportunity for the Zhuge to go into your opponent's base while the knights from the other side of the map. And then even earlier, of course, there was that wrap around the back that felt entirely unnecessary. I'm at a little bit of an impasse here. B may be about to pass over control of this game because Louis is now up to 12 knights, which will be vetted very quickly here. High trade house, which is probably going to be worth about 2 relics close to. Shaolin Monk's at least going to be bringing relics home. One has already been picked up and is on the way. Second one can also be yoinked. What I will give credit to B with is, unlike most people when they try to play towards relics on this map, he's going for a very clean timing into transport ship. that is a mistake we see so many players make, is that they go Monastery and they don't go Transpo. So he's at least finding the runway to try and do that. On the mesh now on the way for Louis. Well, I mean, the veterancy is more important here. That's going to naturally get you armor and health as well as damage. Undermesh is going to guarantee the Zhuge do practically nothing, right? It's going to put them down to just 6 damage per volley. Be gradually adding in more PG. We already see the crossbows getting queued up. Men at arms as well for Louis. Just wants a sufficient front line. B is obsessed with these balls. Another worker lost for it. You do have the transport, so it looks like B is on the move. And he's got double Monk coming, right? So you just get them both in, get out, pick up 2 relics. Put Louis in an awkward predicament where he can never beat you on passive gold, even with 113 gold from his high trade house. Yeah, that's pathetic. I actually thought he'd get a few more trees, but then again, like here, this would have been, I think, 134 maybe? Probably about an extra, like, 4 or 5 trees at least. Oh, more than that, more like 8. Interesting, Lou, just going for the full static comp. I mean, crossbows are the real MVP over time, right? They're the thing that you always want to be leaning towards as the age goes deeper. A little bit dangerous against Zhuge, but the problem is, like, B can't really afford to mash Zhuge when he now has to counter armored units, so he has to switch as well. I really want to get more games, man. Like, I'm not biased caster. I just, you know, it's kind of crazy. I feel like my brain is like, is this B just not being on form today, or is this Louis just being really, really on form today? I think it's more the latter. I think Louis played really, really well for most of the series, incredibly well. And, you know, I know some people are going to try to, like, maybe highlight a few areas where B looked like, I mean, people like you throw around the word throw way too much, in my opinion. I don't think he threw the game. I think he just put himself in a disadvantageous situation. Sometimes it was a poor pick. Other times it was just Louis forcing a mistake. Right now, it's hard to deny that Louis looks like he deserves this. Domin in the group stage, right? Just winning so many series. In fact, he only, what, dropped 1 series, I want to say? Yeah. It was the one against B, which was a insane series, by the way. That game 1 in particular. But what was a very close best of 3 is so far not really looked like a competitive best of 11. Louis is still looming with these knights. Walls are at least up. You could try to break in a few places here. B's army isn't really reactionary. It's got bad movement speed to do so, right? So we'll go for the torch. Love this idea to raid on 2 sides at once. Knights are going to shuffle in. We'll be able to move away. But right now, B's overreacting that. Louis a little bit paranoid. Unnecessarily so, actually. He had a free break-in. It's just we have gold vision and he doesn't. B right now. Going to pick up more relics. So this is looking really good. He did go on the wrong island. Good guess by B. Unfortunately, 1 wrong. He needed to be further south. Yeah, funnily enough, he actually might think that it was already picked up. But little tip, if you're ever paranoid that the relic's already gone, just look for this little wheelbarrow thing on the ground. It tells you whether it was in the area, right? These always spawn near relics. Boys Fortitude now coming in as well. Louis' front line is just getting so tanky. And B, he's falling back to his namesake. Nesta B's now on the way. But these are usually Nesta B's. They're nowhere near as tanky as the Chinese ones. Sprills as well. This man loves his Sprills too much. He began this series with them. At this rate, he may be ending them with them. Knights have broken in, though. B, he sent the crossbows to react, but those can get massacred here. Great find for the Knights. It's a counter unit in the appropriate numbers, but the numbers aren't there. Imperficial looks like he might even get cleaved down as well. Nice bonus kill there. Louis just knows they're not overreacting. Instead, he dives in. He sees an opportunity. There's only 1 spearman. Villagers will look to seek shelter. A lot of them just standing still and dying, though. A big hit here. And B, he's bringing spears down to react, but Louis got maximum value out of that raid. So much out of time done. Several worker kills. Behind this, he's now pushing on the front side again because you forced that reaction. It's so frustrating, man. We're in that mid-game again. We're at that point we keep talking about where Louis is phenomenal at spreading the map and forcing you to react at multiple fronts. We've got Knights flanking the east side. We've got Knights on the west side. We've got main army in the south. And he's pushing every angle, right? It's like when you're that big tank in the RPG, and there's that thief that just keeps trying to go in for a backstab. He needs the back, and you keep turning around. He keeps just fading in the shadow again, right? And then all of a sudden he's creeping from behind you again. You turn around, he fades in the shadow again. It's like dealing with a pack of boos in Mario. Only in this story, there's a good chance that Mario gets cannibalized by them. Yes, I am suggesting that boos were once Italian plumbers as well. Wait, did he just break off? Oh my, come on! This is not what we call efficient trading. Sending 8 units to deal with 1, and then losing 5 over here to kill 1, I believe. Is at least going to be pushing down the center. B has had enough of this crap. He knows that if this continues over time, he's just going to lose the game. He needs it in. Military Academy also being prepped, just in case he needs that extra layer pumping fast. The low coming in. Looks like Louis is going to have to run back the other way. Great wall roll there. Low HP Knights just became even lower. Louis right now is dodging the plague. Horseman transition on the way. He doesn't have many farms, though. Only 1. Remember, this is a Pro Scouts map with 74 deer in total, right? So he can afford a few horsemen before burning himself. However, there is a lot of spears here. Only 10 with the main army, but more are on the way. Knights have mostly been mopped up. Final one alive is very close to just being dead. B, can he get that fight that he's desperately looking for? Mount Lu Academy now coming. It's going to be Pagodas. B, this is going to offset the eco lead that Louis built entirely. The game is looking good right now for B, folks. I'm starting to feel like we're going to see a game number 8. It's not over yet, though. Louis, one of the best defenders we have in this game. He's just so good in this mid-game to late-game pressure points. At holding, at finding ways of surviving. Going for the clash. Saint's Blessing can be activated, so that'll allow him to hold on this side. We've got multiple attack points right now, though. Mango being repaired. Zhuge not able to get the kills on the villagers they were looking for, though. They get baited instead, and they die in the face of the archers. No, B. Louis baited him into 3 different engagements again, and used it against him again. This kid cannot be stopped. B now in retreat. Louis MT queuing up even more mangoes to the death push. The patience on this Chinese prodigy. Everything in this game, really. I mean, honestly, you take that fight any earlier, you just die, right? In a very big line fight, those Zhuge Nu will shred everything. But Louis, understanding that, just split it into 3 different engagements, overextends his opponent, allows the mangoes to get the side stab that guarantees that B can't reinforce the fight, and then it turns into this. A game where B had a clear, emphatic military lead is now one where he trails. And the eco lead only seems to be growing from here. Louis MT, he's only 1 TC. B seems to be skipping production. He hasn't really lost any more workers. The numbers really don't support what we're seeing here. I mean, it is looking pretty bad. He's even overqueuing now because he's clearly aware that things keep distracting him. All right, like remember, there should only be a 6 worker difference. There's a 12. Not just that. Correct me if I'm wrong. B has built a total of 0 farms, right? Yeah. Guess what, though? Louis has built 22 and is climbing. Mass Horseman is becoming more and more feasible here. There's one player that can afford to lose an army right now, and it is not B. Mango shot's looking good as well, and this choke point especially. At least lose a few villages. That shrinks the gap a bit. 4 additional worker kills found for B. He's every single one he can get right now. 5 relics is going to put him ahead on raw economy, even if he's down on workers. And I believe... Have we got the pagodas? I believe we do. Okay, we do. Yeah, they're down here. So remember, this gives a lot. It gives 62 food, 62 wood, 100 gold, and 25 stone. Basically about 250 resources. It's like on raw economical numbers, B should be ahead. Where he's behind is he still needs that farm transition. So where he's behind is his ability to meet blob the fights. Right? He doesn't have that giant army to throw into the grinder. Louis at this rate might just go in. He's got 5 mangoes. Like, pretty much if you just get adjustable crossbars, it's curtains. Yeah, he's just realized, I mean, it's like, there's no point queuing up more. You're 200 pop, right? Meanwhile, B needs that farm transition. Jiangnan's now coming in for the song to make it cheaper. I think he's in for a rude awakening in the next minute and a half, though. Remember, these are Louis' walls, so he can ride freely in and out. It's also been creeping stone up here still. Could go for an eventual cheeky keep drop. Wouldn't be fast, but could be decisive. Because here's the other thing for B, like wood, in the grand scheme of things, there's not crap tons left safely for him. Not compared to Louis, who just has so much of the map now under his control. And once again, dude, it's the multifaceted approach. 3 different gates, every single one of them being leveraged. Well, technically, it's actually like 6 different gates, maybe 7, 8. I'm losing count at this point, guys. It's a lot of gates. Like, let's go to the UI. It's 9 gates in total, and I think only one of them's here. He has 8 frontline gates. This is freaking ridiculous. However, I'll see your 8 front gates and raise you 8 Nesta Bees. And Louis, he's getting baited to reinvest. He's playing the age now. Mangoes. Oof. Missed the villager kill opportunity. This is a little bit tricky though, because remember the mangoes, they do outrange the Nesta Bees. There is an opportunity to catch him. Which one is going to get caught straight away by the horseman? Louis, he's gradually getting towards that Imperial we talked about. Another knight's going to arrive on the backside. That could do a lot of damage, actually. 255 HP. You don't really have a quick way of killing him. And there's the farm transitions underway. I think this is where you're going to see Louis just say, go Imperial. Palace Guard have snuck in the meantime, so B can do a little bit of echo damage as well. B has to be the most consistent user of this unit in Season 9's meta. You swear both like Chinese civs just get worse mangoes? Why? Probably because for like 8 seasons they've had better mangoes. I don't know, like, I've said this about Sprinals as well. Sprinals being underwhelmed at the moment, I'm kind of fine with because like they've been the meta for a long time. Same with Nesta B is just being really good for a long time. I don't mind them being in like a limbo while we get to them being balanced in whatever that role's going to be. I know it sucks if someone only picks Chinese or Zhuji, but to be fair to you, you've had a good 8 seasons so far, you know? Same with Springles. I actually appreciate the devs didn't just come up with this new concept for Springles and then make them really overtuned. They decided, oh, let's make it weak at first and then we'll tune it up. And Nesta Bees have already been tuned up once, right? I think it was it the extra 0.5 tower range they got? Because it used to be 7. I should really get a chatbot filter. Whenever someone mentions the word ad, it just responds subscribe. Bombard's now coming from Louis. Good way of sniping out these Nesta Bees. And with this type of economy, you can just spam horsemen anyway, right? Like, he's got multiple ways of addressing it. I think the biggest priority, I'd love to see him just rush adjustable crossbars. It's dirty how effective it could be here. B, meanwhile, is only on 2 TC, right? So, like, he's shrinking that villager gap that existed. It's still going to take time. He still needs to find the resources for Imperial. He can, however. There's a lot of power in Juji and Imperial. Especially things like Divine Defense. The extra range would mean that you'd be able to actually deal with these Mangos pre-adjustable crossbars. Also means your own bombards will be able to snipe the enemy ones. You'll die before you give your hard-earned money to a streamer. But you'll watch the streamer for probably in excess of 50 hours a month. And you'll probably give your money to Netflix or Amazon. Use it less. Okay. There's way too much to unwrap right there. We'll do that in the break. Elite Horsemen coming. All the elite techs. I mean, we're probably going to be having a university soon as well. LUMT has also been trying to just harvest the gold. B has got his excess to work with, though, and Temple of Sun is now on the way. There is hope. There is a way. OnlyFans are true. He's probably subscribed to Voldemar's footpicks. Makes sense. Elite Horsemen are in, though. These bad boys are chunky. I love how, like, you go Imperial Age, and they're just giving out free hats to all the villagers. Have you guys ever noticed that before? Because some things upgrade just automatic scouts, right? It's just like, what do we give the Chinese usually village? Hats. Give them hats. No one wants to buy these anymore. Give them to all. Oh, with that tech up, LUMT knows he needs to go. And weirdly enough, we have a meta arm switch coming in. Odd choice. Nesta Beast, big hit. The Mangos get caught not looking. B outplaying Louis in that fight. This is still pre-adjustable crossbars, right? So there's no opportunity to punish in return. B, could he do this? Has he got that breathing room he's desperately been looking for? We got the Divine Haze. The army's able to quickly react now. He's diving a Spskaya, which is bold to say the least. Could get you killed, but so far it's most definitely not. The cannonball's just not seeming to hit the right units. Yeah, it's kind of awkward. A cannonball is range damage, so you're shooting a nest of bees that has 85% resistance. Like, literally one villager can out-repair the cannon emplacement shots. It's so bad. And he at least got a working... Wait, that wasn't even a work kill. It was a spearman kill. Well, that was depressingly underwhelming from the Spskaya. It did at least stop him from continuing. Now Incinder Arrow deck on the way. Weird, actually. I think Louis, if I'm not mistaken, he still doesn't have a uni. What? He's got 2,000 gold, and he's yet to build a university. This could end up costing Louis the game. Unitex is like getting age 5 in AoE 4. It really is the secret hidden 5th age. B now getting the appropriate amount of bombards to try and deal with that strong static defense in the front. Louis going to raiding. I actually like this. I think like this is your value horseman, even without biology. Boys Fortitude makes you tanky. You know your opponent's rushing gold in desperation to get the techs. Punish it. Go for the wall. Spearmen are quick to react this. China proving that the knockoff Nikes are actually better than the main, I guess. Like, dude, like these guys, whatever they wear on their feet, make them insanely fast. Whether it's China or Juji, it's ridiculous. It's just so hard to get raids going when Spearmen are this fast to react. However, he's taking this opportunity to push down the center. However, we still have this giant gaping issue in the strategy. The Nesta Bees, weirdly enough, are the easy kill factor against Louis' army right now. Go Ming, get 1k bolts in Cloud of Terror. Cloud Terror is really potent. It would be ironic as well, because if you guys remember, Louis MT and B, last time we saw GG between these two, it was Louis MT holding out for over an hour due to the power of Cloud Terror. The army tactics is at least going to be on the way, so B will at least have a chunky front line. I don't think you really need better trades into the Horsemen, but it's nice against the Men-at-Arms, right? Actually kind of makes you feel like a pseudo-Men-at-Arms, considering that Louis, now after being in Imperial for several minutes, is still missing a University. I think he's forgotten it, guys. He's legit forgotten about it, which is really bad. This is like, you're missing out on your next age, really. I think we're just trending towards a B victory at this rate. And yeah, reminder, at this stage in the game, the Island Golds becomes your world. I have to talk to Avali about this spawn. This is a little bit ridiculous. It's actually a 3-to-1 gold split. That hasn't really been happening much. So definitely needs some fine-tuning. B pretty much can buy what he wants. Ming, maybe? Just throwing it out there. I mean, I like extra damage. And I'm not going to say I like reading. I will never say that. You know, libraries are great. It's like toilet paper. Great things for those books. They can, you know, be used as a pseudo replacement toilet paper. They can be used to hold doors open. They're great at keeping pieces of paper down. What else can you use books for? Great pseudo coffee mat as well. Yeah, like, get those libraries. There we go. Yeah, he agrees. Library now on the way. And while B is building essentially a second university, Louis MT doesn't believe in higher education? No, okay. We finally have him believing. A university has been built somewhere by Louis. I don't think I've seen any text. No. Which is getting a little weird. Because now you're reaching a point where you actually are running out of gold. So, people predicted at the start how long the Grand Finals was going to be. We're at 4 hours right now. I talked about 5-6 hours easily being realistic between these two. And with the way this is trending right now, like, there is a feeling like B is ahead. Until Louis realizes he's got university techs he needs to get, B is going to remain ahead. Even after that, B has a lot more gold. And I mean a lot more gold. Infinitely more. He's got the 5 relics. He's got all of the islands. He's actually taking every single island in this game. And Louis... Oh my god! Oh my god, the 16 workers almost get caught. No, don't. Do not go down there. Whatever you do, son, do not believe that there is a gold vein waiting for you. He glimpses it. B, that was a bit of a mistake there. He actually could have garrisoned and got the kill. He's still coming around for it. The weird part is that B did not bother to get a single emplacement here. Villagers will hop out. They'll go for the repair. They won't go for the repair. Are you kidding me? He's actually getting away with this. That's ridiculous. There is no world in which Louis should get his hands on this gold. I can't believe that. 95 HP on the transport ship. And neither one of these outposts has any upgrade in them. Ridiculous. As a result of that, Louis MT keeps the economy lead. B, you know, he went to TC, but he's sticking at 89 villages. He's capped out on population in this game. And wait, did I accidentally hit the insert button? My bad. Of course, Louis. Yeah, that summarizes it perfectly from Riftal. Finally, a Unitech. Siege work. Out of all the options we had here, we could have, like, you know, got the army tactics. We could have got Incinerate. No. Biology? No. We just want to make sure our bombers don't die too easily. We also have Springle chips coming in. He has got the swivel cannons. So just looking to clear up this outpost shenanigans from B. B, who's now wishing he'd really set up some Springle placements over here. Oh my god, is Louis winning this? It's actually starting to look a lot better for him, right? Like, B is exhausting a lot of gold, and what's he really getting for it right now? Spaskai is down, though. Divine Defense, eat your heart out. I think B is going to win this, courtesy of the Bombard advantage. Louis is now pivoting back into Horseman. He does have that gold vein down here, 3.5k to work with. The transport ships are having a hell of a time over here. Double spring, could that actually beat the outposts? No, because they're fortified. Okay. If it wasn't for the fortification, I'd actually favor the boats, but no bueno. It's tense in this lobby, and you can feel it. You can kind of feel the brutality of it, right? If one of these players loses the army, like, how do you remaster these type of losses? The siege cost alone on both sides. Too pricey. And yeah, this gold vein spawn, unfortunately, may prove quite pivotal. Looks like we did have a mop-up on at least one of those. Bombards did actually manage to snipe one of the outposts on the island. Stone Gatherers are going to get sniped. B, this time, he's pushing up again in the same area where it all went wrong earlier in this game. What lessons has he learned? What wisdom can he impart to the grand old Juji library? Might it be the AoE boom damage is good? No, because he doesn't have the tech. He has none of them. And Louis has wrapped around the back onto the farms with a small retinue while he's being dove. Louis massing up a second wave at home after those losses, though. Nesta B shots coming in big here. He needs to get past this. He needs to bypass on the siege right now. This A-click, though. Louis finally charging in. Siege, it's just too much of it, right? There's not actually enough army to protect all of it. But he's trying. Just enough bio at the front side of this fight. Louis is A-clicking into his death here. No way. Louis, out of all the ways to lose the army, you lose it like that? I just can't. I just can't, man. Louis was in an insanely good position to go for a surround. And I'm pretty sure what I just saw was a select all army A-click. And a GG out. We are not done yet. Goldies, silveries, bronzies, I know even some of you conkies, be aware, select all A-click does not always win you a game. What? Valorant gifted subs to the channel. That's insane. That's how popular Age of Empires 4 is. Everyone wants in on it. And everyone wants in on this series. Because finally B has said, you know what? I'll take another slice of that. Second game on the board for him. We hop into game number 8. Pigeon's View for this best of 11. B with the Malians. A Louis MT. Uh-oh. 3-3-3. It's the HRE. Ooh, this is a hard one, guys. Yeah, because of this Dark Age Rax opening. This could actually be an abrupt, aggressive ending to the Grand Finals. Reminder, Louis MT is on match point. He wins this, it's over. He takes the #1 spot in the Midweek Muster All-Stars. And we've seen HRE time and time again spank the crap out of him in no way. That is not a Marine Lord spawn. That is an M-Loss spawn. I can't believe that. He got double pit mine on one location. This is a jackpot spawn for Louis. The Spearman play is going to get insane value on this opening. And this is tricky because now, like B, really the play here is to probably build an outpost just to try and block it. He isn't doing it. Why is that the play? Because the alternative is adding Donzos, which is horrible. The HRE's economy is too good, right? On top of that, Donzos are too expensive and wood. This is what HRE players have been doing on the ladder, by the way. We've even seen it against like some top-level players. They just open like this and completely ruin you. Did we activate predictions? I'm pretty sure we did. Yeah, they're on, 100%. Because what ends up happening, right, is like you should outpost, but usually you outpost too late because of the Marching Drill Spears. They come too fast. And what is a Malian player without gold? Let's be totally real and just ask that question. Answer is usually dead. B is just trying to ignore the threat, though. So he's going to go for the fast tech. Probably look to try and get the archers out to shut this down, but Louis already on the way. Villager has been pulled. Timing looks really good as well, unless B rushes with 6 on a Mansa, which he really should here. You need 6 to get a quick enough tech timing to get a counterplay before the outpost goes up. Is he going to go Saharan? Yeah, okay, he's going to bite the bullet on this, but that's still rough because now what you can do is, Louis, you just put the outpost here. I actually want to say like the Saharan needed to go here, probably, to get a bit more wiggle room. He kind of griefed himself with his house. Well, you know Louis isn't going to stop. Villager, wait, whoa, 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 whoa! What? A critical error by Louis there. Villager down. Unbelievable. I can't believe that. That changes everything about this play. No outpost, no bueno. All of a sudden, B gets to have a game. And there's no way Louis is going again. All right, this time, let's remember, rally points are important. He's adjusted it. I just hope he doesn't select with a spearman and bring it back in again. This is still expensive, though. Like, losing an H3 villager, sending a second, delaying your age up even further. This isn't great for Louis. Saharan train network is also about to complete, so we'll have to back off from the house because the javelins will reach him there. He knows it as well, so just trying to min-max it before he has to get out of range. Outpost. It's going to be nicely slotted there. And you're seeing the play. He's like, get as many houses as possible because I now do not have Mansa and I'm never touching gold again. He's like many people who follow the esports scene and pray that they can be a conch. They will never touch it. Just like me in this gold. Sorry, guys, that's a bit real. You can do it. You just need to commit, right? You keep switching between French, HRE, Byzantines, and whatever else someone tells you is OP. Pick a civ. You can make conch. Yeah, honestly, like, if it wasn't for the passive gold that B's going to get in this game, his gold income would feel like my bank account around Christmas. Definitely in the negative, right? It's just, it's a horrible position to be in for a civ that's just so gold heavy in general. If you want to build cattle, oof. If you want to build, even if you want to go for Imba, right? There's a gold heavy units. So it's a pretty awkward situation overall. He does at least have the archer out, but needs to snipe that villager. This is going to be tight. Oh no, he got locked on him and Louis knows. The spearmen are going to end up having to die, but you see that B, he already prepped. He put 5 inside the trade network. This is not working. Louis is going to lose another villager. Oh no. Yeah, he gets it. So outpost incomplete, and there's no way you pull another villager. So Louis is now desperately behind on his tech timing. He's 2 villagers down, which, by the way, is the value of the Mansa. Right? Mansa's worth 75 resources. 2 villagers, HRE villagers in particular, will do that. Louis just slipped up in a big way. This is like when you watch one of those movies and you see the underwhelming deaths that feel like it must have been something out of Final Destination. He's just walking down the corridor, slips and breaks his neck. This should have been a clean-cut, easy execution play. That first villager dying ruined the timing, allowed the archer. This second villager was pretty much thrown at the wolves. And now B has an opportunity to increase his wins in this series by 50%. I mean, when you put it like that, in some ways it sounds grim, but it would be one hell of a recovery. Because remember, folks, he's been on the ropes for a long time, right? Before the redraft, he was 4-0. Louis MT had dominated him in the first 4 games. Louis, he's going for an all-in feudal play. We've got archers, stables, and racks. Interesting choice here. You would have thought he'd just back up to go for a fast castle play off of this. But Louis doesn't want to tempt fate. He doesn't want to open the floodgates towards Castle Age Malian. And wait, what? We've got Musafadi. What? I'm kind of speechless. Like that wasn't on my bingo list right now. Like, when was the last time you saw people flooding Musafadi this early? Is he really expecting a feudal men-at-arms spam from HRE? Because he's playing himself into a counter right now. B hasn't scouted what his opponent is doing is the biggest error of all. And wait. What is happening? What is happening in this game? It's almost killed the cow. Oh my god, that misclick. Yes, put it inside where it'll always be safe. No one can see the cow's scars if we just hide it in the back of the ranch. Oh my god. You can tell that we're starting to reach the fatigue stamina point of the series. It's 4.5 hours of one series for these two. Louis MT. Maybe 2 workers down. When you think about another way, B's not 2 workers up via Mansa, right? So like in a weird way, the game state is balanced economically to where it's normally meant to be. B's doing something a bit wild though. This is fast castle for Imba. You know what? I do have a pretty awesome PC. Which wouldn't be possible without the folks at AMD, Gigabyte, Kingston Fury, Corsair, Crucial Micron, and Haven. Shout out to all those folks for sponsoring the build. Be sure to check out the pounds if you want to see this amazing PC specs. Oh god, terrible fight, B. I mean, we expected this to happen, right? He's running blind out into the map. In theory, when you're in an aggressive position, like, this type of map's great for Musafadi ambush, but when you are defending, which he's most definitely defending, that's an insane loss. Those Musafadi, he lost, what was that, 5? That's 400 resources. Now a javelin switch coming, but we already saw Louis been prepping horsemen. Going for on the wall is at least going to be slow. B hesitates to show the javelins for good reason. He doesn't want his opponent to have a reason to build more horsemen. The problem is, Louis already anticipated it. He's got more horses on the way. Love this play out into the deer as well. Even pulled the prelate, added in a second, right? So he's got wood gathering buffed. He's now also got the food buffed. Very efficient about this. All cows are neglected name before. That's true, but one of them is appropriately abused. He knows his name. A bit of a weird dive there from Louis. I think he's getting a bit overly eager. He needs to be careful because the lead he's built can be thrown away quite easily. B is now getting the counter unit, right? So it's like, you kind of have to bulk for the all-in timing to dive in. What you've done is really good because for a moment, B was just threatening castle. You forced him off that timing. You forced him to pay attention and play the age. Javelins. Remember, if that outpost had gone up, there wouldn't be any javelins. Like, this would be game. And that's not an exaggeration, right? Like, he'd be so far behind. It's crazy the difference that outpost blunder has made to this game. First error unforced, and then B taking advantage of the second. Louis, reluctant to give up this attack timing. You can see he's just adding more and more in. Has got blacksmith techs coming. Undermesh now on the way. Will allow him to dive towards the TC a bit more. It's just difficult, though, especially with the Saharan Trade Network area. Javelin initial strike is just so strong. Also, congrats, you built archers into Saharan Trade Network. You basically counted yourself. Remember, it's already 12 base damage and an extra 4. Because you are hurling javelins from these things. I'm not entirely convinced by Louis' attack coordinates here. This wrap in the back, I mean, you can actually hit here. This isn't too bad for like taking out the buildings, but the javelins will poke and pick you apart in the meantime. Oh, revealing the dive in. Louis goes to the big target. B will be able to seek shots successfully. Gets in safely. Shots are coming through. Looks like villagers are going to get sniped though. So B ends up losing 2. Louis, not much military loss for that dive. That actually went a lot better than expected there. He targeted the right individuals just in time. B. This is so greedy. He doesn't want to play a long age 2 against the Achery, which is in some ways surprising because at some stage they have to switch farms, and that's going to be a weak point, right? They're going to run out of sufficient wood. You'd think B's goal here would be to just play a very long age 2, get a lot of javelins, add in some donzos. He's not. He's getting out of the age. Farimba now on the way. Louis doesn't know about this right now. Nice interception of some of the reinforcements. And Louis right now is not in a position to mirror attack. He's putting everything into this. The weirdest part is, despite putting everything, there's no rams. Which really means there's no way to play into this defensive landmark. He's going Javelineers. It's possible. He's also got Mansa Musafadi as an option, though. Which I don't mind. Sure, you're up against archers, great. But the Javelins can still mop the archers, and then the Mansa Musafadi win for castle. So, like, yeah, you leave your opponent a bit stronger in the initial fight now, but you weaken him for the castle play, right? And also, at the end of the day, your Mansa Musafadi don't have to attack the army. They can attack the enemy's economy. Moment of truth. Oh, God. All right, well, no, it's not all doom and gloom. Counters the archers, poison damage into the horse. Oh, God, it's pretty rough. This is the least done unit type for good reason. And the dive's coming in. He needs the upgrade right now. He's at least got it. Great, you can run away faster, but you're running away from mass horsemen. No! B shall not be anymore. Gets the veterancy for the jabs, does get behind the wall. Horsemen try to burn through here. The villagers get the shifts out as well. You can just A-click it into them, though. B, just so much idle economy and so much to be dead here. Has to run them past it. Textile is at least going to minimize some of the losses. But it's stacking up, and while this is happening, Louis is stacking up resources for the Third Age. Just villages being prioritized here. Doesn't even care about the javelins for now. There's only 6 of them left alive. Musafadi raid is going to come in. The veterancy did tick up. We've got a claim onto the board in the center from Louis as well. And his army is still bigger than B's. The villagers are just running around in circles here. Against HRE archers, the worst thing you can possibly do. And there's just not enough room, right? He's fully garrisoned. At this rate, he's going to be down to 25 villagers. Luckily for him, the archer force is going to be expired before that happens. Unluckily for him, Louis now has a 6-villager lead. And honestly, his tech timing for the state of the game isn't going to be much worse. And B understands what has to happen here. It's a rush for relics. Looks like B will not be able to stop the gathering over here. Nice garrison timing available. Okay, so now we've basically found ourselves at 15 minutes with a collective army size of about 15 between the two. This can be seen as a soft reset, but the reset favors Louis now because it's just raw economical. Not really a throw. Like, it is definitely a favored matchup for H3. I don't know if I say throw. There was definitely a mistake, though, was Louis in the Dark Age losing a villager. Like, that actually gave B a way of potentially winning this game. It's a very hard matchup for Malians, actually, especially with this type of spawn. I think B just getting baited into doing javelin. I don't think there was value in rushing the Age, per se. Louis had the correct read on a Civ that's just so good at diving with the marching drills. He didn't hesitate to go in the moment the Age up completed. Nice interception. Louis just denying any goodies from the map. What do you do now if you're B? I mean, it's a desperation play to try and get these relics, but he has to do it. He can't let H3 get even 3 relics, right? Regnance is just going to be too strong there. My worry is this is 4 relics. Louis has 4 on the way home already. He even has these outposts in the center if he wants to use them, but he's respecting the fact that the mass Musafadi can come in and burn down. So he's going to pull them all back to safety. And oh, look at this. Louis has built a slight lead and has now calculated that he wants to play for the mid-late game. You'd never have guessed that this guy used to scrim with Marine Lord a lot. 7 villages, 30 army size. Think about this way, Jalol. Your opponent has gone Mansa Javelineers. Do you really want 25 archers anymore? I mean, I know he's rebuilding them, but like to trade off for 7 villages is not actually that bad. It's also the idle time. It's never as simple as he killed 7 villages. He killed 7 villages and then idled his opponent for over a minute. Well over a minute with his entire economy. right? Like, well, let's say half his economy for over a minute. Max economy was definitely half a minute. That's big. Just gonna camp and go imp with Swabia? Maybe. I mean, you've got 4 relics, right? It's like just such a safe play. I have said Swabia needs to be nerfed. Swabia doesn't need to be cheaper at all. There's still... I'm dying on this hill, man. I'm just going to stand here until the end of time, apparently. Until I'm old and grey, saying that Swabia should not be cheaper. Because it should not be cheaper. There's zero justification for that landmark being cheaper. Years ago, I get it. Sort of. But also, I didn't even then, because all you've done is encouraged one style of play. And now, most definitely no sense in it. The problem is, once they nerf it and Elsbach finds its way into the meta more, people are going to be jaw-dropped to how good Elsbach is in the right circumstance. B is massing a lot of javelins. Remember, these guys have poison on them now. It's not bad, right? 3 damage every second. The other really big detail that matters with Mansa Javelineers is movement speed. 1.38 is just so good. 2 sites now locked in. So Louis, while he's taking a more defensive line, he's not just camping in his base, which I like. He's trying to get as much out of the map as possible. He does have a very clear, emphatic eco lead right now. Why be lazy about that? Why not use that? We do at least have some Ranches added in. So B is trying to offset the loss of eco state of the game, right? And in fairness, right now, Louis is pretty much just pocket ecoing, so, you know, he's not at full Arcane efficiency. But he has built enough prelates to buff probably at least half his economy. Dev coming in. He's trying to idle out underneath the TC. A little bit weird that Louis is still adding in so many archers. Now that he's in the comp, he needs to get off them right now. It's kind of crazy. Sofa plus Javelineers, like, this is everything that counts archers. He is now pivoting, so it's going to be crossbows coming, knights as well. Spears, men-at-arms, basically a little bit of everything. Really, your big win condition here as Louis is probably as simple as building just spears. Spears basically counters the entire army that B has. If Louis MT subscribes to Fitzy here's way of playing the game, he can just wipe everything. Like, if Louis MT just channels his best impression of Ravane, this thing right here, this scary thing, beats everything. Sometimes AoE4 really is that simple. Alright, 1s if you think Louis is going to win this, 2s if you think B is going to take it. I think Louis does have one issue, and it's the lack of farms. Usually an HV player has farms by now. He has none. He's gone 0 farms. He's playing every single ounce of the map's resources before he switches farms. Which is cool for an all-in timing. But you're not seeing a military lead off of it, which is worrisome. If you can pinch a group like this, like, and actually do some serious damage, I start to grow in faith, right? But now what I really need to see from Louis is an insurance policy. And this comes from someone who usually talks about the idea of, like, you know, actually playing your timing and not playing for later, right? Playing to win instead of playing to survive. But in this matchup, there is an element of survival through infinite food that is important. That your opponent actually has some already and has a way of keep genning food, right? Because you can just keep pumping cattle. That being said, it is a lot of gold. It's like Louis can, to a certain degree, just kind of sell gold to get what he needs. And wait, have we got a keep drop? Oh my god, Louis. It's a statement play. He's going to turn this into a landmark pressure. Flash coming in, B. Oh, look to posture. Louis is getting ready for that keep drop. Needs to be careful because this will put his villagers on the front line. B doesn't know it yet, but he's about to see it. Keep drop begins. Louis, need to be very careful about this, son. Javelin's trying to address it, but unable to do so. Sofas are now going to be committing in. Spears to follow this up. And it looks like it's going to be good enough. Louis MT will not be denied his castle drop. And this has to be an immediate siege workshop. Louis has got so much gold to work with. This has to be Trebs. Could even consider just mangoes. Build spears, mangoes. Makes a lot of sense here against Sofa Javs. Other awkward thing now for B is javelins are terrible at like sniping siege, right? Because although they have more range than archers, they have terrible attack speed. Louis even trying to creep up outposts as well. Oops. Interestingly, he wants the outpost here. Then again, vision's that good, right? Gathering begins, siege workshop to be built as well. Sacred Site timer is still ticking, by the way. It's another decap attempt coming in. Raid on the south. Oh, wow. Louis, we talked about this reluctance to build into farms. Another reason to do so. He's playing way too dangerous against this many sofas. Farms finally getting added in, but now B with the villager lead. More going down. Louis has to find the timing now. There's no messing around. You're behind on raw gathering rate, right? Like, the gold is definitely where you're still going to compete with the Regnants, but your opponent has got 3 pit mines. That's about 300 passive gold themselves. Villagers that... What? That's it. That's actually it. Louis gets around the back. B doesn't see it coming, and that is immediately the GG. Ladies and gentlemen, the last tournament of the year, the last time we will thrust up a champion in 2024, and it is going to be one from the East. The beast himself, Louis MT, taking it in a dominant 6-2 victory over B. Damn. I was a little bit shocked at the GG timing there, but I think B felt like he was on the verge of losing for a long time. I think he was more in this still than maybe he believed, but I can kind of see the thought process. Probably just a frustrating series overall. Louis came out of the door swinging. If you guys haven't seen those, definitely check the earlier videos. I mean, a ridiculous lead built by him early on in the series. Props to B for finding a way to potentially start fighting back. But big shout out to everyone tuning in. Thank you very much for joining me throughout the year for Midweek Musters. And my promise to you guys, Midweek Muster will return. We are coming back again next year. January the 3rd, all the way through to the end of June, we will have weekly tournaments here. So every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, you need to make it like an instinctual habit. This is your place to come. You want to be here because this is hopefully going to become the heart and the foundation of what I'm hoping is going to be an ever-growing Age of Empires esports scene in 2025. See you on the next chapter.